Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. Today's topic is about characters. Now a lot of you have been asking me like what is a character and how I come up with my characters, and to tell you the truth, I don't know quite exactly how I do it, but I'll tell you anyways. I'll do my best, and it's actually not that difficult once you get into it. A character is basically something that you come up with and you start developing. It has its own personality. I actually did Google search definition for character just to get like an idea, which is what I thought it was, and I wrote it down. So let's read this. A character is a combination of traits and qualities that is distinguished an individual person or thing, which makes a lot of sense. A character is basically what you come up with. It could be a combination of things you like, people you like, things you see, or anything else that you come up with like that. And then usually traits, when someone comes with a character is usually almost like a mirror version of yourself, which is why you have OCs, which is original character, based off the actual person. Like I have my own OC that's based off of me that I use for my own like brand or logo or whatnot. I also kind of use it as like a shopkeeper, which makes a lot of sense because I sell things and I like to have a character that's kind of symbolic to me, I guess. I don't know how a Cyclops / Frankenstein really works, but that's my OC and I'm sticking with it. Now let's talk about that. The reason why I did a Frankenstein / Cyclops is like, one, I like Cyclops. I don't know why, I just always like the way they looked and the big eyes and whatnot. And then for Frankenstein, I actually grew up liking Frankenstein. I always thought he was pretty cool, and I'm a big sewer, so Frankenstein's like made of like just basically all kinds of stitch work, and I do stitch work a lot. So I thought he was pretty cool because of that, and other reasons too, but I'm not gonna get into that. Let's talk about the characters that I'm painting right now. So these guys are actually an accidental characters that I came up with when I was trying to figure out what to paint for another postcard. And usually that happens a lot. You try to come up with something and you accidentally make something and start liking it, which is totally normal. It happens a lot, and usually it works out really well. So for these characters, I was trying to figure out a pose, and I came up with a pose I like, and I'm like, oh, what if I do like a lover's thing? That'd be really cute. I haven't really done that a lot. And then I'm like, well, they could be like really old like characters, like the Victorian whatever-esque characters. And then I just started like painting. I'm like, well, what if one had like a mohawk or like a pompadour? And I'm like, that's not really from the era, but what if one's a greaser and one's like from Victorian era? That'd be really cute. I like doing odd couples like that. And that's how these guys became. Yay. I mean, you have her opposites attract, and I thought this would be a really great opposite, I guess. And it just kind of rolled with it. So when you do a character, it's okay to be like scared about it. It's okay to be like, oh, I don't know. The best thing to do is like not think about it too much, because when you think about it, you overwork yourself, and then you could probably start hating the character itself, which has happened to me too. You want to start off small, like, what is this character? Like, what does the character do? What is the color scheme? What do they look like? And that's already a lot to go off for making a character. You're basically bringing life to the world, and you want to take care of your baby. So it's good to start off that and then work your way up. It's okay if it's like not fully developed yet. Everything matures over time. How is it going to mature in another day, another week, another year? I have a character that's like, I guess 2-3 years old now, and it's been developing a lot lately. Still has the same traits, but my style changed. My view of life changed, so the character also changes itself. Another fun thing when you're actually trying to do a character and not accidentally make it is inspiration. Like, what gives you inspiration? Sometimes if I have to come up with a character for a particular thing, I go to a bookstore or I go to a coffee shop and write. I'm not a big writer, but I've been doing that a lot lately. I've been keeping a journal and just writing little like notes inside to help me remember, because I don't have the best memory and sometimes I get ideas and then I forget. A lot of times those happen when I'm driving where I can't write anything down, which is really frustrating. Start looking for inspiration. It's always nice to go through magazines. Like, I like using magazines because obviously it's more of a visual thing. And there's a lot of really cool magazines now, like Image FX, Hi-Fructose, just any game magazine, or I guess home decoration too. I like looking at the home decoration magazines because they have some really cool, like, vintage looking ones. And from that, I just take traits that I like and I come up with a character for that for particular things. Especially if you have like a theme. Go through the theme, figure it out. Again, it's gonna take time for the character to develop. It's not gonna be the perfect first time, but it might be the second time or the third time, or when the final time happens, it'll be just right, just for you or for that person you're doing it for. Now, for a character, color scheme is everything. Like, how does that character like stand out? Like, how will people remember that that's the same character even though you've changed it so many times? Well, keeping the traits. Like, if it has 3 eyes, it has 3 eyes. If it has 2 eyes, but 1 eye is different from the other one, just keep it like that. So on like that. The hair can change, but if the base is quite similar, it works pretty well. But the best part to do is keeping the color scheme. I like usually picking 3 color schemes, the 3 that work together and 3 that'll stick together. Long as you don't hate it, it should be pretty good. Like, my color scheme for my main shopkeeper OC is pale seafoam green, powder pink or dusty pink, and brown, usually a chocolatey brown. And those are the 3 colors I usually stick with. Sometimes the tone changes a bit, but that's those 3 combinations and they work really well together. And they're combinations you don't usually see, so it really helps when you see it. You're like, oh yeah, it's that one character. Okay, cool, I had a makeover. Now, getting a little deeper into doing your own original character, again, like I said in the beginning, is a character sometimes is usually like a mirror version of yourself. And a lot of artists don't realize when they're doing it, but a lot of times when you draw a character, somehow the character always resembles yourself, like a self-portrait. And it's not intentional, it's just the way we are. We take something we know and familiar with, and then we work with it and draw it out. And a lot of times, sometimes it's yourself, sometimes it's very reminiscent of yourself, or sometimes it could be someone you really love or dear. Which is why a lot of times people are really close to their OCs. Again, which is original character, OC, just in case. A lot of people are very close to it because it's very familiar to them and it's something that you want to nourish for quite a while, unless you're sick of it and then throw it away, and then you'll make a new one, which is again the same process, which has happened. I have OCs that I don't draw anymore, but I still remember them. Like, I remember my first one from 4th grade. It was my first time making OC that I remember, and it's so deep in my heart. You know, I don't draw him anymore, but he was still my first, and it's okay to not use the same ones again or just forget about them. They'll have some type of part in your heart for future characters. Also, in developing OC, it's okay if you're not used to it. It's okay to have like inspiration with other characters. As long as you're not copying the character, like don't take an actual character and change the color. That's not okay. Like, it's okay for fun, but if you're posting it and being like, yeah, this is my own original, it's not. It really isn't, please. Please don't do it. It's still copyright. But again, it's okay to take baby steps. Especially if there's a show that you like I've done this, like I love Monster High before they changed it. I had my own OC Monster High. And I just had fun with it. It was just my own original character for that universe, and it's not like they had that character in the show, so might as well make my own. Again, OCs come in different shapes and sizes. You do what you need. Everyone's different. It could be a person, it could be a thing, it could be a book, which is a thing. It could be an animal, it could be whatever you want it to be, as long as it's your own creation and you brought it to life. Okay, so talk a little bit about the painting I'm doing. These are 2 accidental characters that I made, like I said before, and I just wanted to actually do like a cute little illustration of them. One of them is a greaser from 1950s, 1960s. The other one is Victorian-esque. I'm not quite sure yet, but one's more vintage than the other, but they're both vintage, and this piece is actually called Vintage Lovers. I wanted something really cute, and I thought this was super duper cute. It was, again, accidental, and I just rolled with it. Because who doesn't want to see a cute little greaser dating a cute little Victorian boy? And to go with, I am using mixed media stuff. I am using my usual watercolor set, which is just a mix of Winsor Newton and whatevers. I am using Ecoline liquid ink, which I love Ecoline. If you see my other videos, I actually have a video of me using Ecoline for Inktober challenge. It was like a 3-color challenge, I think. And those guys are great. They're like watercolor base pens, and they have them in ink form, which I absolutely love. I'm also gonna be using Posca markers, which is a fun new thing. I'm also gonna be using Blick Studio markers, which I absolutely love again. And then probably some other mixed media stuff like gel pens or whatnot. I'll also be using Prismacolor ink and probably a mix of other stuff too. I'm not quite sure yet. Because as I'm talking, I'm still working on this painting. Also, when doing characters, if it's okay not having a full backstory yet, it's always helpful when you're starting to paint or draw them. You're like, oh, what if this person's like this or what's like that? Like, I just came up with the little Victorian boy. They don't really have names yet, sorry. So Victorian boy and greaser, okay. The little Victorian boy, he actually inherit his house from his grandmother because he was very close to his grandmother but not close to his family. So that's that. And then the little greaser boy, he actually has a little like greaser gang that he hangs out with. He's not a leader, but he is the leader, I guess, and his family is a whole like kind of mafia. But as you can see, the combination color is quite different. Like, I'm using more earthy tones for the Victorian one, and then more darker and cool tones for the little greaser. I just want to keep it neutral, but yet keep it so they both shine with each other. I don't want anything like overlapping, and I want them to both have their own spotlight and own personality. Also, when developing your character, again, like I said, it's okay to take your time and for the character to develop. Like when you watch cartoons or a show, they're not just gonna throw you into the character backstory. You want to develop it first. You want to go slowly and interestingly, I guess. It's not a word, but that's what I'm saying. So your character, it's okay, like even for you to not know much, you'll come up with things, you'll come up with backstory, you'll come up with lore, you'll come up with history or whatnot. Something to make the story interesting, your character interesting. Or if you want a boring character, that's fine too. The character still has to have some type of backstory. Like, what if they're just like a boring character that's like, all they do is go and read in the corner of interesting books because it's so boring that they like interesting books. Like, there's a character for you. Or a character that's super like interesting, like the whole backstory, like the little greaser boy, his whole family is part of the mafia. Like, how does that work? Okay, and then he's dating a little Victorian boy. Again, I'm saying little and it sounds weird. I'm so sorry. Well, I think that's the end of my video. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much for asking me questions about this, how to do characters and whatnot, and thank you for letting me do a video about it. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to let me know, and I'll do what I can to help you. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe. If you didn't, then don't do anything at all. Until next time, bye.